G'day viewers, welcome to Totally Fucked Up Friday, where I bring you stories from around the world that prove that, no, it isn't your imagination. The world really is totally fucked up. And I'm going to start with just a brief mention to the ongoing fights against totally fucked up government infringements on the internet and broader civil liberties. I do like to help and say this is what you can do to help, and I found another people doing helpful things this week. One of the worst laws being pushed at the moment is CISPA, which I've mentioned before in the US under the name of cybersecurity, that basically wants everyone to be able to do anything to you, not just the government, not just law enforcement, but also corporate entities to be able to do whatever they want and say, it was cybersecurity. It's a bad law. Cybersecurity, not a bad thing in and of itself, but this is a very bad law. There's a link down here to a site called Privacy is Awesome, which is a great name for a site, and they give some practical tips on what to do for Americans. And you can go on their mailing list, because in case you've never picked up, if you are almost any country in the world, but certainly the Western democracies that are closely tied to the US, any nasty law that gets passed there, the US strong arms trading partners to have similar laws. So to head off any of the more of the, what do you care what happens in the US? Well, this is going to fuck the entire internet, and also they have a track record of forcing people around the world to adopt similar laws. So yes, link below. Join Privacy is Awesome, fighting against the totally fucked up nature of CISPA. But that's it for the good news, okay? There's a silver lining on the cloud of bad news. There's some good... More of the world being totally fucked up. Now, one type of link I get sent a lot by people is police abuses of power. There's another thing that happens all around the world. Now, this one is from the US, where I do get a lot. Certainly not alone. It's not just US police who do this, but people are often sending me things saying, oh, look at what this cop did, and he was found not guilty, or he wasn't even charged, or any number of other outrageous things. Now, in this case, a cop was arrested for driving about 150 miles an hour in a 55 mile per hour zone while he was drunk. Okay? It's just this is the sort of thing that other people won't see the light of day for years if they do this, and rightly so. But in this case, the cop was actually jailed for 5 days. That's right, drunk driving at triple the speed limit, 5 days in jail. Oh, and he got fired. But he appealed against getting fired, because he doesn't see this as a smudge against his character as a cop. And he won the appeal. This is what makes people not trust law enforcement. Now, the people who are responsible for firing are actually appealing his appeal, but the gall of this guy, where do you get off I just did this outrageous, dangerous, contempt for society thing, but I think I should still be a cop. I think the world thinks you should fuck right off. But look, let's say, it's not like he's got a track record of really bad judgment. Ooh, unless you count the time the people in the McDonald's drive-thru said he pulled a gun on them because the order was taking too long. Now, he pleaded not guilty. What he pleaded was that he didn't point the gun at him. I mean, personally, I believe him. Why wouldn't you? It's not like he is the epitome of totally fucked up. And it's not just cops that I get sent a lot. It's a lot of weird stuff said by religious people around the world. This one also comes from the US. Again, I do actually want to stress, when I pull out these stories, the reporting's just better in the US quite often. But this shit happens all around the world. Now, I've been sent some videos this week. One was very similar to what I've posted recently, where a pastor's talking about punching the gay out of little kids. This one, he has a plan for the gays, and he's going to get rid of the gays, because the gays need to be gotten rid of. But he's not violent. He's just going to drop them in the middle of a desert with a fence around them. But he'll give them food? What more do you people want? Do you want to be treated like humans or something? That's crazy talk. But if that's not enough for you to think this guy is a fuckwit who should just be not allowed to ever speak in public, ever, for this sort of shit, his reason behind that is not to punish them. It's so the gays will die out, because if you just keep them in one place, yeah, keep them in comfort, but keep them so they can't go anywhere, they can't breed, and they won't die out. So your theory is gays come from gays breeding. Where does Babby come from? And if you want, is this guy, you know, an exception? It seems not. It's not like every Christian is like this. Not like everyone from his state is like this. But he is, and it seems like his congregation is, because one of his congregation went on TV to defend him and could not form a coherent sentence. Went on with this sort of 2-second goldfish attention span, just going, oh, you're taking it out of context. How do you take the actual words out of context? It's like he said, put them, surround them with barbed wire, let them die. How do you take that out of context? And he's going, he didn't mean to actually do that. You go, why did he say it? If he doesn't mean it, why did he say it? It just beggars imagination. But really, honestly, if you are going to be the spokesperson for someone who's a prize fucking idiot, if you're going to let someone from your group be the spokesperson to go out and say, the media, you're misrepresenting us and our wonderful ways, don't send out someone who is too fucking stupid to string a sentence together. That just confirms in everyone's mind you're all totally fucked up. Oh my God. I should stop kicking America, shouldn't I? This has been very American-centric this week. I'm going to round off with a story from Zimbabwe. Now, when I've brought up Zimbabwe in the past, it's tend to focus around Robert Mugabe, who has just ass-fucked that country beyond belief, given them multi-million percent inflation. That's not a joke. That's not an exaggeration. That's not hyperbole. The inflation in Zimbabwe was over 1,000,000%. And to try and keep up with it, well, did he stop doing all the stupid shit that was destroying the country? No, he printed more money. Bigger banknotes. That always works. Actually printed a $100 trillion banknote. That really didn't work, because it turned out that by the time they got around to printing it, the currency was so worthless, $100 trillion could not even buy a bus ticket. So yes, they gave up. They don't have their own currency anymore. They use foreign currency. So when I read a story this week about the Zimbabwean opposition, I thought, right, these guys are the potential saviours of Zimbabwe, right? These guys, they get threatened, they get intimidated, they get spied on, they get beaten up, they get murdered by Mugabe's thugs, okay? Saying, these are the good guys, right? Worry, Zimbabwe. Worry if these are the guys who are going to save you from Mugabe. This is a guy quoted in a symposium on AIDS, which is still an extremely big problem in Africa. In case you didn't know, it's actually still a problem everywhere. But in Africa, it's a very big problem. All layers of society, young, old, male, female, straight, gay, it affects everyone. This guy's plan to deal with AIDS, make women more ugly so men won't want to have sex with them. He actually said, you know, shave their heads, make them wear crappy clothes, don't let them bathe, and they'll be so repulsive, men won't have sex with them, and AIDS will be stopped. Zimbabwe, I don't know how to break this to you. This guy with his just brain departed from head pronouncements, he stood up proudly. No one's given him a trick question. This wasn't a gotcha question. This was his prepared speech. This is his best foot forward. This is him thinking big thoughts. This is the best he can do. Make women ugly to stop AIDS. I'm sorry, Zimbabwe, but that is your future.
And that